Yvonne Missy Woods was a very powerful, well-respected lab technician. During this video, you are going to see what happens when such a crime lab technician basically burns out. That burnout has led to criminals going free. That burnout has led to cases either being dropped or the person getting jail sentences that are light for what they did. This is a situation. I mean, this is what Colorado is going through. There are people in Colorado who are walking free right now because of what this woman did. Instead of going to her supervisors and going, hey, I can't handle it anymore. No, what she did instead was to destroy her career. She is probably going to go to jail. And there are people that, well, criminals that aren't seen as criminals because of what she did. Victims who are having to live through their lives, reliving this, not being able to have their attackers put in jail where they belong. This is the kind of stuff that I cover. I don't necessarily enjoy covering these types of stories, but people need to hear these stories. So, if you don't mind, just because I see the behind the scenes stuff, hit like, subscribe, comment. Actually, hitting like kind of feels sickening on some of this, I will admit that. But subscribe and I'll keep you informed on what's really going on in our criminal justice system and with our government. Because I'm a small government person and you can't have good small government if you have a criminal justice system that is where it is today. So, you've got 3 videos coming up. Let's get to it.
Howdy y'all, this is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Kim and Kyle, Missy Woods was considered the gold standard in DNA testing. An intern found problems in her work and she resigned last year. This interview is the first time we hear Woods talk about why she deleted data impacting families across the state.
And with me here is Special Agent Charge Corey Latham.
2 investigators sat across the table from Missy Woods.
The last 6 weeks of my life has been the longest 6 weeks of my life because I don't sleep. And I'm consumed with this.
She was CBI's star DNA analyst until last year.
That we're really trying to determine how bad this problem is for us.
A problem that led to an internal investigation. You're listening to their interview with Woods after a review found she deleted and manipulated data in criminal cases.
Do you ever remember doing that?
I don't have an independent recollection of that, no.
I don't remember was her answer to a lot of questions for more than an hour.
But you can make it right now and explain some of this stuff. But at this point, if this stays the way it is, your legacy is more than likely to have tarnished us and you.
Since this interview, CBI has learned Woods tampered with DNA evidence, impacting more than 650 cases.
Why would you do that?
I think I'm burned out.
Burnt out,
Okay.
she said, as she started telling investigators why she deleted data. Woods said she did it to avoid taking additional steps.
How did you feel about what you were doing? Did you feel bad about it? Did you feel, or did you wrap your
I didn't
mind?
even think about it. I didn't even think about it until 5 weeks ago.
This interview happened in late 2023, weeks after an intern found problems with her work. Woods left CBI after 29 years, a career she appears to want to protect.
What went through your head to take some responsibility?
The thought of going down as a completely rogue analyst, as opposed to not and owning my actions.
Yeah.
So we don't know yet if Woods will face criminal charges. That investigation is still ongoing. Her attorney has said Woods has maintained she never falsely reported a DNA match. Kelly Rinke, 9 News.
Covering Colorado First here at 6 o'clock for you. More fallout after years of alleged misconduct by a woman who tested DNA for hundreds of criminal cases in our state.
Tonight, another case is being impacted by that scandal, and the ACLU is ripping Colorado's Bureau of Investigation for what the civil rights group calls a lack of transparency. The allegations of DNA evidence manipulation came to light last year with accusations surrounding the CBI's top DNA scientist, Missy Woods. The agency said Woods tampered with DNA testing and in some cases omitted material facts. She has since left the CBI and a criminal investigation is now ongoing. Your investigator Brian Mosh joins us with the latest.
Yeah, and Brian, this involves how the Colorado Bureau of Investigation is now handling all of this.
Yeah, the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, is taking the CBI to task, saying that they've shown a lack of transparency in this case. The ACLU sent a letter to the CBI this week. Underlying that letter, actual criminal cases now being impacted by Missy Woods and her work at CBI. When Roger Dean was murdered at his home in Lone Tree in 1985,
in 1985, I was a deputy.
Tony Spurlock was with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and responded to the crime scene.
I remember it was cold, it had snowed.
Whoever murdered Roger Dean while his wife was at home had fled, and the case went cold for decades, until advances in DNA led investigators to Michael Jefferson, who was arrested in 2021 and charged with murder. By then, Tony Spurlock had risen to Douglas County Sheriff.
There's no doubt that any reasonable person whatsoever, once it was laid in front of them, would say, this is the guy. I mean, there's just no doubt. This is the guy.
Jefferson was charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping. If convicted at trial, he'd be facing a possible sentence of life. But because Missy Woods had been connected to this case and to its DNA, prosecutors decided not to take it to trial, instead offering a plea bargain to Jefferson, allowing him to plead guilty. And in exchange, when he is sentenced in January, he'll face a maximum of 16 to 32 years in prison. Roger Dean's family said they're withholding comment until after the January sentencing. Spurlock says he knows the family's disappointed, as it's possible Jefferson could serve as little as 12 years in prison.
I do not think that that's justice for the murder of Roger Dean.
CBI has been incredibly opaque about the scale of this misconduct, about what it might have indicated, about what their processes are for addressing it.
Emma McLean Riggs is with the ACLU, which sent this letter this week to the CBI, criticizing the agency for how it's handling the Missy Woods fallout. She says she understands why prosecutors now feel like they have no choice but to plea bargain cases that Missy Woods touched.
One of the consequences is not just that a jury might perceive lab results from CBI as less compelling, but that those lab results are in fact less compelling. The agency is just replicating the mistakes that it has made in the past in handling this misconduct.
At this point, estimates are that as many as 800 criminal cases might be impacted by Missy Woods' role at the CBI. This Jefferson case is at least the second leading to a more lenient deal for a defendant due to the CBI's DNA program. And what critics find especially troublesome is that coworkers twice reported concerns about Missy Woods' work product to their supervisors, first in 2014 and then again in 2018. But neither case resulted in Woods being dismissed from the agency, and both times she just went back to work.
More to come on this for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Brian, thank you.
Here at 4 o'clock, the former CBI forensic scientist accused of cutting corners with DNA testing is now under arrest.
And she's now facing more than 100 charges as prosecutors say her shoddy work has affected more than 1,000 cases in the state. This is a brand new update in the case the problem solvers have been covering for more than a year now. Yvonne Missy Woods is facing 102 counts, all of them felonies. Woods was a DNA forensic scientist with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation for nearly 30 years and worked there until November of 2023. The CBI says an internal and external investigation found she manipulated DNA data and it affected just over 1,000 cases. They say Woods did not manufacture DNA evidence, but did cut corners and deleted data, leading to a lot of questions about how reliable the tests were when it comes to court cases. And now prosecutors say Woods' report said there was no mail male DNA in more than 30 sex assault cases when in fact there was evidence of contamination. Woods worked at 2 labs in Jefferson County. That's where she is being charged. Take a detailed look at the charges here. Missy Woods now facing 1 count of cybercrime, 1 count of perjury, 48 counts of attempt to influence a public servant, and 52 counts of forgery. Again, they are all felonies.
People can dislike this video all they want, but here's the thing. This is what's going on in the really real world. We have a failure across our entire criminal justice system. There are movies that were made about injustice in our criminal justice system all these years. Well, guess what? It's still happening. And it's not movies. It's real life. And those stories, those movies based on real events, well, guess what? There's still going to be movies made about them. Why? Because of people like Yvonne, Missy Woods. We need to have this fixed. We need something done. Because what this woman did, it's sickening. I understand she got burnt out, but there are ways to mitigate that problem if she had done her job properly. Now she's facing jail time, facing all kinds of things. But hey, that's the way it goes. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. As I said, like, subscribe, comment. Have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.